is just acting up with the Wi-Fi and everything, and well, I don't know, but we'll see if it's good. We shall see. Tweet it out. The people know we are here. But
You still sick or you a lot better now?
honestly, like I was bad this morning. The reason why I want to do this now is for like these moments for like an hour, half an hour through the day, I'll be okay. I'm fine. Like, this is the opportunity for me to like do things. Like I did a Kubera recording off stream just before I did this. Like, you know what? My throat's not hurting right now. I'm gonna record this now while I don't sound crazy, sniffling up in the mic. So that one tower guy stream, I was shaking. I can't breathe. Breathing mid.
I was about to say that too. It didn't help that it looked like it was just like this. That's what kind of seemed like how you felt. You was just like, all right, we doing this right now. But I feel you. I need to hurry up and finish season 3 of Cooper. Huh? Yeah.
Did you already start the 3rd season or not yet?
I'm like 2 arcs away from starting it. Okay. Like, because I was studying for my exam, my cloud exam. But shit, that Fallen Petals arc was, that shit was oh man, that damn trial, please. And then everything after that has just been crazy.
That's like the ride where you're like, bro. Fallen Petals and Fallen Frozen Tears was really good.
Yeah.
Because I was a Tio stan. I don't know about you. Tio resonated with me so fast. I became a fan of her so quickly. Especially when she been Neil but gone Hover's form in the pool of reflection. Did you see that? She kept walking. I said, bro, she's so cold for that. Yo, she's cold. She did not show no hesitation. Nothing like that. I said, yeah,
I was feeling her. I was feeling her because exactly the same thing you said. Her composure, like how she was basically saying to herself, "Don't show any signs. If he knows, then it's up." But the main thing that I really liked about her was she didn't immediately judge. Like, she was trying to find the good in him, and then when she finally found the good and she went out, I was like, oh, she actually changed this man.
Yeah, and I hate that nigga so much. He's a good character. He's a fantastic character. I hate him and Lorraine. I can't stand. I hate them. So
I can't lie. After the arc I just finished, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but the one where Saha died, and then they I think it was the punishment chapter was when it I was like, yo, you led this man on for 12 years? For 17 years. I was like, the fuck is going on with you? And then when Lux had pulled up on her, I was like, you the worst type of people, right? I was like, and she was like, mind your business. Like, you stringing him along. Just say you don't want. I don't want you. That's all you gotta say in that situation. Just like, I don't want you, and he can possibly make the attempt to move on. But no, you just strung him along until you got old and his family wanted to get somebody younger to marry him. Nah, you taking away from his life. Like,
Alright, let's keep this hot.
I started my own company.
I,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a
Gospel of
definitely
Kubera
myself.
here. Yes, sir. I know it's you. You be going crazy with the Kubera. Kubera took over his life the same way it did with me. I feel it. You see that, Kubera? He said, "Yo, this is the one. This is the one everyone should be standing." I feel that. Okay, I'm gonna share this. Actually, let me go to my window capture. Capture the window in it, mate. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Unruly with the Ting family, you know.
Oh, my bad. I didn't even know you were streaming.
Yeah, relax.
uh,
I'm gonna watch the Haku video with you. I'm sharing with you on Discord if you want to look at it, but we're gonna watch this first.
all right, cool. I'm a mute up for right now.
Okay. I want to see what you have to say on this. Because character agency and why Bam versus White is so heavily criticized. Tower of God discussion. All right.
Heyo everybody, Haku here with a Tower of God discussion that I've been trying to record for like a week, ever since I read chapter 509, but after reading...
Let me actually make sure that this sounds good.
Heyo everybody, Haku here with a Tower of God...
Oh yeah, nice and loud.
510, the contents of this discussion haven't really changed, and I want to talk about the Bomb and White fight through the lens of character agency, and at least for this video I'm going to be sort of defining character agency as how much a character's actions and decisions and thoughts actually influence what happened in the story, and to do so I'm going to compare it to the Bomb versus Dadazahard fight. And this was inspired by a comment, a really great comment that came from Slayer nominee, so thank you to them, because they compared it to the Bomb versus Dadazahard fight, and that made a lot of things click for me as to why I and seemingly so many others are kind of having issues with the Bomb and White fight. Again, the Bomb and White fight, to me, from what I have seen, not from just me, not from just other Tower of God YouTubers, but from the comments and the responses to my videos, things that I've seen people saying on Twitter, it's been highly criticized, and yet Bomb fought against Dadazahard. Bomb fought against the Dada, sure it was the regular version of him, but of the guy who was going to be king of the tower, of another irregular, and Bomb did really well against him, arguably beat him. I mean, I feel like Bomb came out on top in that scenario, so that fight was
I disagree with that, because Dada Jihad could still keep going, and I'm sure Jihad could like recover or replenish limbs, but the Dada version couldn't do that, so it was actually still a kind of an inferior version of him. I feel it though. Like I think you can make the case, but I actually don't think that Bam won that.
Highly praised. So what's the difference there? And that's where I want to get into character agency. And I guess to start it off, I will actually tell how that sort of corresponds to the Bomb and Dadazahard fight. So when Bomb first met Dadazahard, he was overwhelmed. He like screamed in fear. He was terrified of this guy. He didn't even understand how his powers worked. He was so outmatched by what Dadazahard was. But then he went away with Kunedwan for a month. And a month really isn't that long a time in the scale of Tower of God. But after that month, he was able to come back and fight against him. And again, even overpower him at points. So why was that not heavily criticized in the same way that Bomb vs. White now is?
You also have, I don't know if he's going to mention this, but you also have to remember that a lot of the times when these characters end up in these games with these rankers, higher rankers, and other people, the fact that you make it a game, even though it can still also be treated as a straight up conflict, is part of what gives the weaker combatant chance to win. Bam could have tried to beat Dada Jihad straight up or break the 3 spheres to win the game if he was smart enough to kind of maneuver around him. So you have to keep that in mind.
And again, I think that's because the reason Bomb was able to stand against him in that short of time came from Bomb's own thoughts and actions. First of all, he trained for a month with Kunedwan. So again, that is his hard work. Secondly, he learned that what Data Zahard was doing was using Shinwan Ryu, or Shinsu Black Hole Sphere, internally to strengthen his body. He learned new things and was able to use that knowledge to do better in his fight against Data Zahard. And thirdly, he was able to learn about and accept and open up and start using his own power. He was able to finally make some character growth and some peace with who he was as Juvial Grace and who he is now, and start tapping into his own power. So again, these things, the way that Bomb fought against Datazhard came from his hard work, his knowledge, and his decisions that he made. Whereas Bomb fighting White now, Bomb, when he first went up against White, was overwhelmed. Again, Hand Collector White was going crazy. And it was clear that Bomb was being outmatched. But now, Bomb is like totally calmly overpowering him, and he's doing so without really busting out the red and blue Thrissa transformation, without activating the second Thorn fragment that we know of.
So somebody did point out to me, I'm gonna get the picture in a second, and if you agree that this like protruding crystal-like shape thing is the thorns, he actually did pull out the second one when White used like the demon slash and Bam like barely blocks it. It looks like there's two thorns out. I could be wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
Those
I've
were
seen a
two
lot of
thorns.
people argue.
Just want to interject real quick. That he did pull out two thorns.
Okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
this is like a new power. This is just him tapping into God powers. And a big reason that I think it's very much
He
worthy
has
of
not
criticism
used black marks for
is
anything yet, eh?
Bomb did not work harder than White for this. If we saw Bomb over the 3 years training with Evankel just come back in season 3 and be high ranker level, then it'd be like, oh yeah, he just got that strong over the 3-year time skip. We could assume then that it was because of his hard work. But no, this has just happened basically instantly. It's not him going back to the training he had. It's just a power up for the sake of having God powers. This is not from Bomb's hard work. Bomb isn't outsmarting White here. This is not from Bomb being big brain, because one thing that I like in fights is the idea that anyone can beat anyone if they have a good enough plan or preparation. A great example of that is Kuhn being instrumental in taking down Windbird Dekoko.
Yep.
That was a really good sort of application of the idea that
Like Aguero cannot beat that dude, but that was a good plan to beat the. Was it the Windbird's core they had to destroy? That was a good plan.
if you have the right plan, you can beat a much stronger opponent. Even though it's not really like a one-on-one fight, but you get the point. So Bomb isn't beating White here because he worked harder than White. It's not because he outsmarted White, and it's not because of the decisions he made. If anything, the decisions he...
You know what's interesting about this, Milios? If you're listening, because he's talking about Bam didn't earn this. Do you think White earned this? I mean, at least White still had to go out there, fight, and devour souls, but he did kind of absorb his siblings, and plus added a spell onto that. So that's it's like kind of cheating, I guess, if that makes sense. But none of them niggas earned their powers. Yama was traded. He was punching the air. Go ahead.
I'd say he didn't. He didn't though. I'd say White didn't necessarily earn it because he sat back and let a ranker basically. I mean, not a ranker, but a C regular level him up. Like he just used all the souls during the war to pretty much consume them to get the power that he has right now. But no, I don't think he earned it.
Yeah, I feel that.
he's making here are kind of what White wants. Corrupting himself, tapping into these sort of darker powers, deciding within himself that he's going to give up on his friends, or that he regrets meeting his friends and doesn't want to travel with them because it means so much trouble for them. His decision to give up on being right there, being able to go and try to save Jinsung, to go back and fight White instead when he has no guarantee of success in a fight against White. It's not because of the decisions that he's made. It's just happening. He's just beating White because, hey, pull out some god powers. He's an irregular. And that's not great storytelling, honestly. It can make sense logically, but it's not great storytelling. And I've used this example like twice in the past. If some random new character showed up and shot and killed Bomb, that'd be terrible. Everybody would hate that. Nobody wants to see that. But you could be like, well, it makes logical sense because Levin shot and killed a guy in season 1 and Bomb isn't bulletproof, and like, you can try to justify it like that, but that doesn't make it good writing. And I think that's the issue with the Bomb and White fight.
I also don't really like when they try to take one instance of a connection and act like because this happened this one time, this makes sense. I would argue that in the discussion that we had, this happened a bit with the Hatsu thing. Still think you went super far with the Hatsu take. I wasn't going that far with it, but Joe tried to say like the very one time in season 1 where he said let's climb together was not a good enough reason for Hatsu to say that all the way now in season 3. There was no continuous build up. Hatsu and Bam have very little interaction and whatnot.
To pile on to that, I would have more so prefer Hots do that for Dorsey or Shibisu or Nak than for him to do that for Bam, in all honesty. Because he got more of a connection with Dorsey and the others than he do with Bam. And it's been shown throughout the series.
Whoops. Yeah, I feel that. But yeah, it's Haku of the two. Haku's been in a lot of my videos before, man. It's Haku.
Here, as compared to the Bomb and Dadazahard fight, people loved that fight because Bomb was our main character who earned his new level of power, who earned that win. Right here, Bomb isn't really earning this win against White. He's just sort of doing it. And I think that there are a lot of ways that could have been fixed. Like I said, Bomb just shows up in season 3 and is super powerful. And we can assume that all that development happened off screen. A lot of people wouldn't like that, but, you know, logically within the context of the story, it would make more sense. Rather than him coming back after this time skip, and then, you know, it might be 2 years. I've been saying 3 years this whole time. But him coming back after this time skip and then being like, I'm not strong enough. Here's the red Thrissa transformation. Here's the blue Thrissa transformation. Let's just pull out random god powers. I think that maybe Bomb should have just been this strong all along. Because, again, to me, it's not necessarily that Bomb is too strong too early, given that, again, we're going to be dealing with Arie Hone by the time we get to the 100th floor, which isn't all that much further by now. So it's not that he's too strong too early to me, as much as it's the fact that his strength does not match up with the story that we have previously seen. It doesn't feel earned. And one of the biggest...
Oh my god. I don't know if he's going to mention this, but my biggest problem with this to me, with the 3rd season, has always been that I think it's the weirdest decision to be like, hey, this character has been training with 2 powerful high rankers for these 2 years. He's in a pinch. What should he do? Oh, I know. He's going to call upon his training in the cutlery. Wait, what? Shield. Wait, what? Arrow. Where's he getting this from? Why isn't he calling upon his training from the battlefields to battlefields? Like, that was always the thing that bothered me the most when I was seeing it. Now I'm like, bro, what? I get it. Doom tried to absorb him. He absorbed it, so he got some facsimile of K9 transformation, which I call a regular transformation. Goddo talking about this cutlery, but I'm like, dog. As much I'm gonna use the Luffy example. As much as people get mad at the Luffy example, or Luffy calling upon his training to get out of like situations he is, at the very least, I like the fact that Luffy is getting out of these predicaments by calling upon his training with Rayleigh for that year and a half, as opposed to him just pulling out new nonsense. That's why this is weird to me with Bam. If Bam somehow pulled out that shield and whatever the case was during the fights or battlefields with the Vankel, I'd be okay with it. That makes more sense to me. But to have a character train, get so much stronger throughout the arcs, talk about how his basics are so good, and then just have him starting to pull out new random things willy-nilly, it's just a weird decision to me. I don't understand it. So, yeah. CBL, we here, of course, always.
things that 509 left me thinking was Bomb making Shinsu reign like he did, like Enryu, but on a much, much smaller scale, is a really big deal that would have been really amazing if it was this big emotional moment that Bomb had built up to, where we could all be like, yes, that's our boy, that's our main character. We've seen him go through so much hardship and so much struggle, and he has earned this and we're behind him, but instead he just pulls it out of nowhere, seemingly with no work to get to it, and it's like, well, he's just pulling out god powers. So I mentioned this. So 3 other criticisms before I end this. I've basically gotten my point across and then kept on rambling since then in terms of the comparing of Bomb versus White to Bomb versus Zahard. I probably could have made this much more succinct, but I'm just talking off the top of my head. 3 other issues that people have brought up that I also sort of agree with, and I brought this up in the most recent reaction too. First of all, something I've been saying like this entire time, the entire purpose of this arc was Bomb going to collect allies to save Jinsung. Bomb having to accept that he's going to have to risk his own life to save Jinsung. Bomb realizing that he's going to have to sacrifice other people to save Jinsung. People realizing that he's going to have to kill people who aren't necessarily bad people, they're just his enemies, they're just on the other side to save Jinsung. And then when he has a chance to go save Jinsung, Ari is even telling him to go do it. He turns back to fight White when he has no guarantee that he can beat him. And if he loses, all of those sacrifices were for nothing. So again, maybe that's where things need to go. Maybe he needs to not save Jinsung so that it's proven that all their sacrifices were for nothing because he made the wrong decision. Another issue people have brought up that I agree with is that the Prince and Ackraptor stuff would have added a lot more to Bomb and Rachel's relationship than to Bomb and White's. I never saw White killing Prince as, oh, White is so evil. I more saw it as...
Yeah, he's probably about to touch on something, a big part of this fight that I never liked. I never even liked the idea that White goaded Bam into fighting him by using their dance. I was like, you don't care about them. This is not moving me. This is not the reason why you guys conflict. That was my problem with it. And then arc after, if I remember correctly, runs into the umbrella Rachel was holding himself and stuff like that. I don't know, bro, but hey, it is what it is. I don't even like Prince, so I don't even care.
Of him acting on Rachel's orders. Sure, he did that himself, but he was working for Rachel at the time. And Rachel's straight up just the one that killed Ackraptor. White really didn't have anything to do with that. So I think it would have been more impactful for Bomb and Rachel's relationship than for Bomb and White. So again, maybe that's another reason that the Bomb and White stuff came at the wrong time. And as for where I think that this needs to go in order for, again, it to not be bad writing, because you can't call something bad writing when we don't know where it's going. It could be going somewhere that makes total sense. And a place that I think makes total sense for it to go is for us to be shown, at least in some small way, like even Bomb himself doesn't need to be shown that yet, but we as readers need to at least be shown in some small way that Bomb made the wrong decision. Whether that's this whole raid failing and them not rescuing Jinsung dying anyway, whether that's Bomb being separated from his friends and being edgelord Bomb for a little while. Either way, or if there's another way to do it, that's fine too. Jinsung doesn't have to die. Bomb can still continue with his friends. We just need some small acknowledgement that Bomb's decisions here were not the right ones. That Bomb went back on himself. That Bomb sort of got distracted from his purpose when he didn't need to. We need some sort of acknowledgement that this wasn't the right move, even if things do work out. I think that's really all we need. And again, even then, if we get that and it's not really like bad writing, it's leading to something, it means something, I do still think that the timing of this could have been much better. It probably should have come at the end of the arc, maybe, is what I see a lot of people saying. I do think the timing is still a bit sloppy. In the way that, again, like I mentioned throughout this video, Bomb just pulled out the power-up without working for it, without earning it. Even though it makes sense, it totally makes sense, it's still, from a writing perspective, though it makes sense, it's kind of sloppy. I think that that'll still always be an issue. But yep, that's it. Video turned out to be a much longer discussion than I had anticipated, but River's free and open for anyone. All you've got to do is subscription. Either way, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
That was a good video. Very nice. Very nice. You there, Milios?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good video. I don't disagree with anything you really said there, obviously. But yeah, that was good. But all right, for anyone who's with us, say hi to YouTube. This is going up later. And
What up, YouTube?
yeah, we're here with Big Milios. We gonna have this discussion. We gonna finally get this done because I've been meaning to do this with him for a while because obviously you guys have been long enough to know that I'm a Kallavan guy. At the very least, with this time around, I'm not making the mistake with Yama and Yasracha. I'm putting respect on the other opponent. I really didn't think Yasracha was nice, bro. I didn't think he was nice at all. I completely disrespected him. I'm giving Lyborick his credit, but I gotta side with 100 bands Kallavan. But so we're gonna talk about why we think each character may or may not win. By the way, real quick, do you think that this fight will go to its conclusion though, or do you think it'll be interrupted and have a bunch of other things happen? Do you think it's gonna go to the end?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep it simple. If what I think is going to happens, it's not going to go to its conclusion. And what I think is going to happen is primarily because of how Lyborick's name is structured, because it's Po Baidu before Kun, which will make him more Po Baidu over Kun.
Yeah.
I think some real devious ish is going to happen.
Okay. I feel that because I probably still the poll just for shits and giggles, but the reason why I did it because there was a part of me that was wondering if we'd even see this conclude because there's so many things going on. There could be so many shenanigans and interruptions. I don't mind interruptions or things happening, but I'm like, will they actually get to have their 1v1 go all the way to its logical conclusion? I wasn't sure, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. But all right, let's hear it, man. Why is Lyborick the guy? Why is he the guy? Why is he beating the ultimate soldier?
So the reason why Lyborick is the guy, even though we haven't seen him fight right now, is primarily I've been petting on the mic, my bad. It's primarily because he granted Cha and Dowan wasn't there.
Yeah.
He made and he used Lunch, I believe is his name, Hide Lunch.
Yeah.
He used him to help subdue the Hidden Grove. That's cool, but he still did it by himself, came up with the scheme, what have you. And on top of that, his menacing nature and the fact that he has two family names, when we already seen Kallavan get duffed. We seen him get pretty much subdued by just one family name. I have more faith in him because everything is being set. Huh?
You went Autobot for a second. Repeat a bit of that.
Even though what's his name? Even though Kallavan was pretty much subdued by REA, Walken, or White, as y'all like to call him, I still Lyborick seems like the writing is stacking everything against him, with basically saying that I haven't seen this look on anybody's face before. It reminds me of, no, I've seen this look on someone's face before, inadequacy, and then it pointed to him. I got a feeling that it's all misdirection, showcasing that my boy is going to stand up to the plate and he going to catch a body. because
So your reasons are more aligned with narrative reasons.
limit. Exactly. Just like it was with Yazracha. Exactly.
That's fair. I think with the Yas Ratchet thing, just to defend myself real quick, I really thought it was Days. I'm like in my opinion, like it's a bad matchup, but Yama's stronger. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
if I pick this character, it obviously gets walled out by this character in this fighting game. But if I'm good enough, I could still win. But it's not. It's like it's not a great matchup. So nah, I feel that. Uh the thing with me in a nutshell is that like in my head, Lyborick is clearly being portrayed to be a lot smarter. I don't know how you've seen this, but in my opinion, it's come across to me that the two of the smarter families are the Pobedal because of Gustang and what he did in terms of just like yo, there's some ish around us. What is this? It's Shinsu. You feel me? And he's highly intelligent. He comes
Yeah.
across that way too. He looks the part and everything, right? So the Pobedal family,
Exactly.
in my opinion, is probably highly intelligent as a result of him, and Lyborick kind of embodies that, in my opinion. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected, and he seems to be like he just has his wits about him, and I like characters like that. I would say the Kun family too, but they're more so conniving and schemers than I do think that we've seen varying levels of intelligence because as much as I don't think Rand is stupid, Rand never came across to somebody who's gonna create these large, extravagant plans to like win a fight in an underhanded fashion. He just nice with it and he tired. You feel me? So and Essential himself too. He like doesn't come across to me the same way that Aguero comes across to me or Machete comes across to me. They always got a plan. They're always got these machination and schemes. You feel me? So, yeah. The thing with I think he's smarter. I don't think that he's stronger than Kallavan. If he was going to win this fight, I think it was because he came with a better plan or had some traps or knew something about Kallavan's essence of bravery or something of the fact that he could use against him. I'm hard pressed to believe that he's physically a more capable combatant. Now I don't know how. I'm gonna ask you this question because it factors into my argument. Do you believe that there are characters within this story that despite not having any special lineage or any special procedure done to them, they're going to be outliers regardless? Like they're not part of the a Jihad princess, they're not a mad dog, they're not a part of this family or that family. They're just this like random person in the tower, but they're nice. I
Do
don't know
I
if you,
believe that there are any nice characters that don't have any sort of lineage tied behind them?
that's fair.
I did at one point. I did at one point, but
That's why I
what
asked because I could
Tower
see it
God
thinking
itself
both
is,
ways. Yeah,
yeah, the Tower God itself is more so a story based on lineages and like how
being
how
special.
power is basically, yeah, how you're basically special because of the blood that you have in your body. But Kallavan, I will say this: Kallavan was the anomaly out of every single case. Like his power was unnatural. The fact that he was blessed by Shinsu, like you've said before,
Hmm.
is is a gift in itself, and he doesn't have any sort of like lineage tie to like a specific family or anything that we know about. So he himself is raw. But do I think he gonna go beat somebody that has two in him? Hell no, ain't happening. Kallavan is gonna get. I ain't gonna say body, but what I want to say is it feels like there's going to be like a lot of misdirection because we've seen what Kallavan can do, but we didn't see what this other guy can do just yet. And right now the consensus is, I like you said yourself, he's smart, he's cunning, he could probably come up with a plan to win. But I don't think you survive for thousands of years, like since like the war that the Jihad army was having against the Hidden Grove and probably before then to this point by just being smart. You gotta have some power with you. Even AA has some power behind him, but he just likes to outthink people.
Okay.
So I, I,
I don't think he's weak,
I
by the way. I just think Calavan's a little stronger. Like overall, like maybe he's faster, maybe he has better Shinsu control because he's probably he's a Jian Sula. We saw him with the spear, and he was
yeah,
just having electricity go crazy and stuff like that. Like I'm not trying to downplay him, but Kallavan has proven to me in a lot of ways to be one of the more or most impressive fighters we've seen. That's not like a regular or something. But I hear what you're saying. Because the reason I asked that is because Kallavan, like you said, we know he comes from a village in which they have to protect the essence of bravery. And I don't know if you remember this, but the way it kind of works, if I hope I remember this correctly, because I should have probably checked this before. I'll look it up after just to make sure. He came from a village where it's like, okay, if I'm like the quote unquote strongest or the rank of the village, I guard it, right? Let's say now you become a ranker. Now we have to fight. Whoever wins, now whoever is actually stronger, they have to guard it. And Kallavan was pretty much the pinnacle of his family. No one was taking that from him. He was very gifted at a young age. And after Hod, it's like, yo, just take that. Take the crystal, nigga. Like, like, take that. And after he did that, he kind of, he went to the next level. He was already pretty gifted. We spoke about him being blessed by Shinsu. But the same way that some people put like him taking out down Hidden Grove, which is a feat. I'm not gonna downplay it. Cha and Dongwon weren't around. They're supposed to be the two leaders, so like that, take that with a caveat, a grain of salt. This guy was special enough that Ha-Jin Sung all these years ago thought he was worthy enough of becoming a Slayer nominee and eventually a Slayer. Do you find any significance in that? Because I only say that because most people I speak to still think Ha-Jin Sung is clearly stronger than Kallavan. I don't think you're crazy for thinking that, but I'm just like, hey, who won though? Kind of. I know.
I would say that. Oh, my bad. I would say that Jin Sung was stronger 2 years ago.
Okay.
Before, because if I remember correctly, he used he consumed the essence of bravery during that fight. He didn't have it on him immediately. So 2 years after consuming it and practicing with it, of course he will be better. In my opinion. So I would say now, 2 years from now, he is stronger than Ha-Jin Sung. Probably by leagues at this point, especially given his Shinsu control and the fact that he was able to recreate a energy arm when he was fighting against Jin Sung. Oh yeah, as well as he also sealed up the hole in his chest with Shinsu, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I would say now he is stronger, but back then it took 2 people to take down Jin Sung Ha. So I would say that he wasn't stronger than him then.
Okay. That's interesting. You're one of the few people that I've heard say that. Most people are like, nah. Like if they fought again, Ha-Jin Sung would whoop it.
Ha-Jin Sung didn't clap.
I think your logic is actually really sound. Okay. The other thing I want to discuss is I'm not see. This is one of those things where it's like I really wish we knew how these organizations worked and how you become a corps commander. Is it just strength? Do you have to go up the rankings? Do you have to pass an exam? I don't know. But Kallavan was the 4th corps, Army Corps before, Lyborick is his replacement. Now, I don't know if he's replacing him because he's better or because he's just the best up after the fact. I know they're both kind of, Adori kind of likes them to some degree. I'm not entirely sure how you kind of viewed that, because that'll kind of give me a good reading on kind of how you see them, because of course it's his headcanon. We can't predict this because we literally don't know how you become a corps commander. But what do you think?
I believe that the way the army is structured is not necessarily just based on power, but also who you know and what you know. Mm-hmm. Because if I remember correctly, he made one mistake and Bam getting away. Granted, that's a big mistake, and he got demoted immediately. They wanted to kill him, but he got demoted. So I would say that it's not necessarily just in your strength, but it's in accolades, who you know, and what you know. Okay, yeah, exactly. So I feel that if we just go based off of power, that's probably like a barbaric way of thinking about it, because
I think it's just power based personally.
Yeah. They're not even operating on that type of system, because how would you know? Why would I even give you this type of status just based off of your power, but you don't have the knowledge or wherewithal to actually formulate a plan to enact my orders or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they actually had a very sound strategy to catch Bam, the regulars, and the rest of them, and they actually caught him. Some of them, but they just fumbled at the end. So I would think that it would be more than just power.
Okay.
More than just power. Yeah.
No, that makes sense because like I think it has to do with like yeah, you said accolades and things you've done, feats, things that like the reason I kind of bring it up is because despite the failure, it seems that Kallavan was important enough that it was like you can't just throw him away. We can't just kill him. We gotta keep him
Yeah.
around. Whether he's a foot soldier or we put him to guard some shit, like he's gotta be around. And I did find that significant because with this war, this army, you see the way that Lyborick just blew his niggas up. It's like they do not give a damn. If you are not Team Jihad, they're not trying to hear that. So like to some degree,
Exactly.
I think it's a kind of tell sign of Kallavan's overall competence. But all right, let me get to this part now, because this is where it gets interesting, right? We haven't seen Lyborick do too much. The biggest on screen paper feat we kind of have from him is being a dual family. I don't know how much stock you put into that, because it's like, do you think one blood overrides more of the other, or do you think he's like a really good hybrid? I don't even know if he's a direct descendant of both like that, but that's an interesting conversation to have. But the thing about Kallavan that probably impressed me the most, despite him just having a lot of on-screen presence, is we talked about it a little bit, but is when he made an arm. And anytime somebody can make a decision like that in a split second, they scare me. He just said, "I'll blow it up." I said, "What? I'll blow it up, nigga? Huh? I'll blow it up." Like, bro, I'm trying to keep my hand. Like, I'm trying to. Like he said, a white slash would have like reverberated through his body and done damage. I'm taking the damage, bro. I'm not losing the arm. I'm taking the damage. But for him to just be like, "I'll blow it up," and then just make an arm immediately, I think it's interesting. I don't know if that arm is actually worse or better than the one he had before, though. Like, that's the thing I've been trying to like get a grasp on. Like, I don't know if he's heard all the Shanks hockey arm jokes. He can make a hockey arm with chest hockey. but I'm like, what if this essence of bravery energy arm is stronger than his original arm? I don't know if you agree with that though. He could stretch
Uh,
and shit. I don't know. So
the essence of bravery arm being stronger than hold up. Just first, let me tackle the first part of that. So him having the temperament and just the wherewithal to just blow up his arm after he realized he sustained like critical damage or anything like that, I would say that's very scary, and he will be very goddamn dangerous in a fight, because that means that regardless of what happens to him, he going for the win. He don't care. He want to win. And at that point, I would say,
sorry, preserving himself for tomorrow's battle is not his concern. He's winning today.
yes, exactly. Yes. And so with that, I would say, all right, Kallavan got it. I don't think Lyborick is on that type of time. But what I will say, though, is that we don't know how much that affects his stamina. Granted, he's probably been doing that for like hours, given like the time it happened to the cat tower and like everything that's going on. That arm has still been there. And we don't know if that's just the essence of bravery acting on like, self-preservation. God dang it, words. Self-preservation. So trying to keep itself alive so that the host don't die, or trying to keep the host alive. So what I mean by that is just we don't know if it's harming his own stamina or if that's the essence of bravery acting on his behalf. So with that said, I I kind of want to say that Kallavan might got it. If his stamina is high and he's been able to sustain that for a long period of time, then it'll be a very dangerous situation if he's fighting against an opponent and the opponent can't kill him like kind of quickly. Because I think he would have won that fight against White, but if his opponent
So
can't
do
kill
I.
him kind of quickly before their stamina runs out over his, he duffing him. But I still got Laborde.
How impressive do you think his durability will be a factor in a fight against Lyborick? Because it still played a big factor in a fight against Hajin Sung. Even though he's like, we're not fucking sandbags, we're technicians. But how much of a factor do you think that's gonna play? Because I was actually kind of shocked that even White was like having a hard time just cutting him.
Yeah, I would say that Hajin Sung put a hold on him. Granted, it was with his ultimate technique.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was like the
The dragon
Tiger
tiger
Dragon or
leap.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I believe that I believe that Lyborick is not Lyborick, but Kallavan is mad durable, especially given the fact that he's had 2 years to temper like the essence of bravery,
Mm-hmm.
like over that time, and to get better with it and become more familiar. I think he might be disgusting with it in terms of his durability as well as his stamina.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say we will have to wait and see. I think Labor can still win, but I think it would be interesting to see how he wins.
Like how he gets around it.
Yeah, like how he gets around basically his stamina and his durability.
I kind of asked that because my friend brought up something that I thought was interesting when I was talking to him about it, like maybe a week ago, where he was like, "Yo, remember how Machete seemed to not be able to break through Hajin Sung's guard, but during his fight with Kallavan, she would basically when she was able to sneak attack him, she's like, I'm finally able to like pierce through that thick hide of yours, and
Yeah,
she's a kun, and it was like a a
yeah.
spear." He was wondering if somehow that could happen to Kallavan with the fight with Lyborick, and like, if somehow he could imitate something similar, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I don't know,
Uh,
because I don't know if he was distracted, and because he was trying to like I guess it almost looked like he was trying to use a massive version of maybe time skip or something or fast skip. Sorry, reverse flow control. But sorry, go ahead though.
no, what I was going to say is it also seems like each one of the top three REA, Ha, and Kun, they each embody something that is entirely different. Like than the other. Like REAs have high attack power, like they have high attack output.
Yeah,
Whereas Ha seem like they can take a main punch, so they have high durability.
I call the Ha family the
And
most athletic family that has.
pretty much, pretty much. And the coins themselves, they seem to be kind of balanced, or more so
Jiansu
as
merchants.
yeah. So it's kind of weird to like put that into a box, but not necessarily. I guess what I'm trying to say is basically with Mashini basically having to wait to attack Jin Sung Ha, I would say it would also come into play like Jin Sung Ha's lineage, but also what he's been through. Because he's been in wars before, and he also trained slayers and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
he's not just any other Ha.
Yeah.
He's kind of like ridiculous with it. But if it had been somebody like, let's say, Yuri, I think she could have got through something like that. So,
Mm.
and they're both Ha's. So I think it depends on how you frame it.
Okay, that's fair. That's why
Yeah.
I had to clarify that. And then I guess the last thing I'll say in favor of Calvin was like his feats. Oh, like his feats, like the on-screen wins or things that we've seen him happen. I think what scared me the one on the last station is when he easily blocks Yuri's what's it called, rose petal shower or rose shower? I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. And he's like, what are you doing? Then he's trying to chase after Bam, who's like in the ship, and Evankel, Karaka, and Yuri can't stop his charge. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, he just went straight. Like, he did not dodge. He said, fire, roses, and steel trees coming at me. I'm going straight, nigga. And I said, what the fuck? Now, granted, at some point, Evankel stopped him and burned him, and he actually remade. I don't know if he was giving out a pain or frustration because he tried to still like his mental fortitude is impressive because even in the fire he was still trying to blow up the ship that man was escaping in. But I'm like, you shouldn't have let him go in the first place, dude. That's your fault. But yeah, like, and then after him coming on his little like, you know, foot soldier gimmick. I got one hand tied behind my back. I faced that one ranker. Like he was, he did put down White before White was properly completed too. When he could only create whatever I can't remember what that sword was called. Kullian is the one that he used. that people are saying could be his strongest one. I can't remember what the other one was called, the red one, but he still put down White with one hand pretty easily. That one other special ranker on the wall, like, you putting any stock into that or not? Because like I already assumed he was stronger than them, but I don't know if you think because he did it one handed, is that more or less impressive or meh?
Nah, when he put down Tunky, that he ain't gained no points. Tunky was pretty much there for like
Yeah.
the duration of his ranker status, protecting the goddamn wall, not seeing no action. So nah, Tunky was fodder.
Okay.
Uh,
Not moving
and
on.
the other dudes that he fought at the Wall of Peaceful Coexistence, fodder. I don't. Granted, yes, they have ranker status, but there's a difference between a high ranker, an advanced ranker, and a ranker. And most of them were just rankers. Like the bulk of them were just rankers. So, in my opinion, nah, it was just showing you, yeah, Kallavan's that guy. He's still that guy, and this is what he can do now, even though he's being handicapped. Like, so it was. I felt like it was just a showcase of what he could do.
Okay. I only asked that because like some people are like, well, he did it with one hand. I'm like, I don't even know if that's moving me. And I like Kallavan. So like he does not need both hands to beat this dude. So okay, that's fair. I'm
That's like
ultimately.
Floyd Mayweather.
Go ahead.
That's like Floyd Mayweather going out on the street and fighting a kid and then beating the kid with just headbutting him or something like that. Nah, man, that don't count, yo. It's two different leagues.
No, I feel that. I feel that. Ultimately, they're both really strong. This is actually one of the matchups I would like to see play out to some degree. Um, Here's what I'll say. You want to make like a Twitter Discord name bet thing? Whoever wins, you get to change your name to whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
One caveat: this fight don't conclude. It's null and void for both of us, and they don't actually kind of
Nah,
fight.
nah. What's up? What's up?
I'm just saying, like if they fighting and then like I don't know, the family head comes and like no one's fighting more. Like you know what we can do? we can analyze it like a fighting game if we have to. So it's like, listen, time ran out, but who's more HP? We could do it like that. So, but all right, we'll have that bet going. What do y'all think about episode 1000 of One Piece? It was alright. It was cool. I liked it. I liked the opening. The opening was my favorite part. They did like the We Are, the first opening, but they had like the whole crew there, like Jinbei and everything. That was cool. But I didn't. Other than that, nothing crazy. But okay. So I got Kallavan, obviously. I think he's I just think he's way stronger. Not way stronger. I think he's stronger, more durable. I wouldn't put it past Lyborick being a very talented with the spear though. Like technically talented, like on some Asensio shit, because Asensio's known to be one of the better spearmen. Wouldn't put that past him. But I think from an overall militaristic and like just overall like physical and combat standpoint, I got Kallavan with the edge. Maybe like a 10-8, 10-7. But I do think that Lyborick is just probably smarter. I think they're both probably mentally tough, but smarter I'll give to Lyborick. So we'll have to see how that plays in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I will do a Discord bet on that. I'm gonna add it there. But yeah. Any final thoughts you want to add for Lyborick?
Lyborick, what I will say is, Lyborick is, I want to say Lyborick is probably, let me not say probably. Lyborick is more talented when it comes to Shinsu. Lyborick
Okay.
is probably way more understanding when it comes to Shinsu. Even though Kallavan has the essence of bravery, all those fighting styles, all those different Shinsu techniques in it, but yet all he did was Bomber DX. So what I will say,
Backbone. That's totally fair. He's pretty simple with his attacks. Attacks are simple. Blow up, destroy.
so oh, so what I will say is, even though all we seen was that spear, we gotta keep in mind that even Idan, when he was just a regular, he had, what did he say, like three?
He had three Shinsu qualities by the time he reached to hit the floor.
Exactly. I got, given the fact that he has two different
You think he
families
has
in him,
whatever is the Poba
I think he got the
family
best
special?
of both worlds. Yes, I think he got the best of both worlds, and we gonna see him put on a clinic in the second half of that fight, and he gonna win. And the first half, Kallavan gonna have him. Kallavan gonna be doing his thing. He gonna be like, "This is for my friends. This is what you did to my homie." And this one, and
This
then
is for
LeBron
El
gonna be like, "Come on,
Pacion. Do you mean El Pacion? He's dead.
that." And then LeBron gonna just tell him, "Yo, calm your meat-headed son down." He gonna ski boat him, and then he just gonna go to work. It's gonna be similar to what happened with Yaz Racha and Yama. I don't think Kallavan is gonna die though because they're gonna fight again. But I got Lyborick winning round one,
Okay. All right.
hands down.
That's I don't even like, this might sound egregious, but I've already prepared myself for Kallavan to jab. I've already accepted it in my heart. I've accepted it already.
You accept the what in your heart for
Kallavan joining Bam's team at some point. Like, how does he get back in the army, bro? How does this work? Like, what if he's let's say whether he wins or loses, if he smokes Lyborick, is this like, okay, you're back? Like,
could I share a theory with you real quick?
Go ahead.
Real quick. All right. So the reason why I said earlier that if it goes the way that I think it's gonna go, this is my setup for it. All right. So we know that Lopobia, the family head of Lopobia, he on Jihad nuts like crazy. Like he sniffs them, he cuffs them, everything, right? So if he is there, like how they say, if he is there and he's behind that portal, then Lyborick is a Pobaidu first. And Gustang betrayed Jihad. Even though he's a Kun, he might try to get all the Pobaidus and the army out the way, which could mean that they set him up. They got him to destroy Kallavan's army so that Kallavan could become more subservient to them, and Kallavan would eliminate that Pobaidu out the way. Hence why Arya was like, I've never seen that look before. That look of inadequacy. Or I seen him, and then it panned to his face. So
the inferiority complex.
Yeah. So, and on top of that, they both are beloved by Adori. Like Adori seemed to like Kallavan a lot more to the point where she was willing to spare his life and just give him a lower role, and then have him work his way back up. I don't know. It seems like the odds are forever in his favor, and he about to go back the way he was meant to be.
So do you think that maybe like he could end up becoming like the hero who's stopped the traitor of the local? Okay, the Okay, I hear what you're saying. That's interesting.
Yeah, like they'll put it all on
propaganda.
They'll put it all on
look at the government. Look at them.
I mean, I think it would be a clever storyline as well. They'll put it all on him. The Lopobia head would actually be there to witness it, and then they say the king, and all that other ish. Yeah. And it also leads to the war that Mashini wants.
Yeah. Oh God, I know what she's scheming over there. I can't wait.
Yes.
This is an interesting matchup, all things considered. I think it is. I think it's one of the fights that honestly I was excited for Yamani Asaracha. I think SIU himself ruined it. All I care about is the backstory at this point. Doom's daddy, Yasaracha, or Papa Baylor, sorry, and Yasaracha's like history. I don't actually care about the fight anymore. I'm gonna hold y'all because that second fight wasn't moving me with the fear fang, primordial fear when you were a child. Like, I don't even remember if I asked you this. What did you think about the whole thing of Yasaracha kind of protecting Yama? Do you believe in that or not?
We talked about it. I think it was during the main talk discussion stream, but I don't think I said anything. But so what I will say is, I do find it odd that Yasaracha isn't trying to kill them, but is telling them to run far away. Yeah. I find that odd, which is leading me to believe that as much of a free spirit as Jazz Rocha is, and he mentioned something about the Lopobia head as well as uh the main big dog, Papa Baylo, Papa Bayro. He said that he couldn't be tamed, and it was because of like the three fangs or something like that, or that's what it felt like he was alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if that's the case, then I got a feeling he's probably trying to keep Yama alive, primarily because Yama could be the thing that could go against Lopobia, the Lopobia head.
That's
But
equalizing.
at the same time, I don't know how that will work. So it's just in my head.
Because that guy could control people. So
Yeah, I'm like, what? Okay, I don't, yeah, I don't know. You got it.
my
But
guess
yeah,
is that the power
that's
of
pretty much
all
what I think.
fangs is the key to understand this. Fair, Arthur. And you know what? You know what is also another thing too. I do think we're gonna see him. Maybe we might not get like a full body Gustang reveal, but I think we're gonna see the Lopobia family head because of what you said earlier about the connection to his being like a jihad like writer. And
Yeah,
I forgot this. Glam is the one who reminded me of this. He's the only one that we don't have a name for. This would be a good opportunity to name drop him. You see what I'm saying? Like we have the
yeah.
name of all the other ones, to Puri, Ariehan, Arihan, like all that, but we don't actually have the Lopabia family's name. I forgot that. I actually forgot we didn't know his name. So
So
interesting.
then that'd be like a good reveal for his name. It'd be crazy if he put it this way. I would like to if he is revealed like this arc, make it like RJ, like where RJ basically sensed that his device was being given away, and that man just popped up. Make it something like that. Make it heat, yo. Like just figure out a way to just have him pop up in the most dramatic way possible, and say the most wild-ish possible. Like make that dialogue like good. Make it exquisite. Like I want it to be like a fine wine where you could just let it sit there and just marinate, yo. Like
I want
make it good.
I just want his animals to go crazy. Just like he comes and it's like he just puppeteers everyone on the floor. Like everyone. Everyone starts doing the thriller. Guy want dancing and shit. Like, yo, oh my goodness. I don't know what you're gonna do, but that would be crazy. That would be crazy. So but yeah.
Try to put Bam on the puppet strings, realize,
But
oh,
Bam,
who
yeah,
are
he got no
you?
strings on me. He's like, oh, this must be the irregular then. You know, like, because Bam will be the only one who's moving. Let me ask you something. This is a complete unrelated to what we're talking about. I've already, say bye, YouTube. We're done. The video's done. But what the hell is Karaka's role in this story now, bro? Karaka's
Coexist.
the weakest, like I guess, important member, high ranking member of FUG now. Bam is stronger than that nigga.
Caracas. Mm, I'll say this. Karaka exists to basically be that. Well, no, I can't even say that because Bam's job is to take down all of them. So Karaka exists just to exist. In all honesty, like I feel like he exists just to be like one of the holders of the rings. You know what I mean? So him, Big Boss, and got daggone, or is it Big Boss or Boss? Whatever. Him, Big Boss, Wangman, they just exist to be like the opposite of the princesses, in my opinion. And him being a part of Fug is just to say, hey, look at this person with high status. Look at how far he's gotten. Look at how far he strayed away from the path of his father. Look at this. Now he's useless. There you go. Bye. Bye. He doesn't exist. Because like the thing that pissed me off about Karaka the most is that he had the most agency without being revealed before he was revealed. Like they talked about Pokin, they talked about like his forces
Raflasia
and
was
all
working
this
for
other.
him.
Exactly. And then when they did show him, he looked menacing when he was talking with Jihad on what was it, floor 21 or something like that? Or whatever floor it was when I said Jihad, Jin Sung, whatever floor it was where he was talking with Jin Sung after Jin Sung had just finished talking with JVG. And then when he popped up on the Hell Train, and he fought against Yuri.
I think it's a
That was
97th floor.
crazy.
But yeah,
Hmm?
90. I would say 97th floor. I think that's Karaka's floor. I think so. Sorry.
No. He popped up twice because he was also in the
Yeah,
shadows
one,
on the
one time he was talking to him like that when he was thinking, and the other time he like
Yeah.
literally pulled up and he's like, bow to me, fool. You know who I am. He walked inside that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Vince Sung went and just destroyed that man's floor. And was like, man, did these dudes that you got around you? You need better help. But yeah, so I would say that
Karaka's white carpet, dude. Come on.
I say Karaka don't really have like any rhyme or reason to be there except to be the holder of one of the rings. If you really ask me, I would say that he does a lot to foreshadow what Jihad could possibly be. Because Jihad, when he popped up on the hidden floor, he looked to have like a similar armor like type with like the tentacles and shit that Karaka had.
You think so?
Yeah, it was like when he had did like the little tentacle move before he into the floor.
All
But other than that, I don't think really Karaka really has any rhyme or reason to be there.
right, man.
He's the weakest one there.
Yo, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, how strong is Rack and Aguero? Nah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways,
You snitching.
we going I don't listen. I'm scared, bro, because I'm like being a Crocker fan is so hard. It's so hard. Like, me liking the characters I like are hard because they're all from the first season. I like Anak, I like Lore, I like Hatsu, I like fucking Lororo. Like, bro, I gotta do a roster change because it's not looking good for me. It's not looking good, son. So
Listen to who you named. They still out there alive and kicking. My man's Muntari, gone. Blue Saw Elliott, gone. Margot, trash. Like, come on, man. What you talking about? And now Hats is a bad thing. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone, man. I'm gonna leave it alone, man. You got it.
I really can't with everyone becoming BAM cheerleaders all of a sudden. Like, there's no buildup. I don't think we're late enough in the series where it's that point where it's like, okay, it's time to let the MC run amok and become whatever he's supposed to become. Like, I don't know. Whatever. CBL, baby. We here.
I'll say for as shallow as not shallow, but for as like, because there's 500 plus chapters, right, in the series. So given the fact that there's 500 plus chapters, but it's a big world and we're only like roughly halfway to, not even halfway. We're like, I want to say a third of the way to Jihad's floor 135 because we're on 52.
Yeah, 130. Yeah,
I'd say right now, especially given the fact that 48 more floors, he got to go against RA Han. I would say just the events that are taking place, they don't do well. They're not properly constructed to showcase BAM's accelerated growth. Like, there are a lot of events that are taking place that showcase BAM being strong, but it's not showcasing that he's believably that strong, which is causing a lot of the fan base to basically go, well, all he did was get a power up and now he's winning this fight. Or all he did was get angry and then use all of his power and now he's winning this fight. Or all he did was basically summon up a goddamn knife and a spoon and now he's winning this fight. So it's like Little was being like what you said. Little was being done to actually showcase what he's learned over the years of training. And he's always just pulling out something new to use or utilize within that portion of any given fight to win or to come out just alive. And it's just weird.
very strange. But I'm not that mad slaving you to rock. And listen, man. TOS universe is, you can't even stay healthy to finish this, bro. That shit's cooked, bro. You can't. This Tower God is the beginning and the end of this universe, alright? So is what it is. Thank you for rocking with us. I'm about to upload this like pretty much ASAP. So whenever it's up on YouTube, go give that a like for me. Help me out with the algorithm. And yeah. Make Karaka great again.